Islamic terror in Tennessee. This is SkyWatchTV News for Monday, July 20th, 2015. I'm Derek Gilbert. 4 U.S. Marines and a Navy officer were killed in Chattanooga Thursday. 2 others wounded but should recover, shot by a 24-year-old gunman, Mohammed Yusuf Abdulaziz, who was himself killed by police in the confrontation. Abdulaziz reportedly opened fire at a Marine recruiting station, then drove 7 miles to a Navy facility where a chief petty officer was shot. He died on Saturday. Authorities say nothing connects Abdulaziz to ISIS or any other Islamic or international terror group, except perhaps for his Islamic faith. Abdulaziz reportedly suffered from depression for years, had money trouble, was known to abuse drugs and alcohol. Franklin Graham has issued a statement calling for the suspension of all immigration to Muslims, pointing out that during World War II, we didn't allow immigration from Germany or Japan. And while he's correct, I doubt that this will happen. This would be a de facto acknowledgement that there is a holy war taking place between Christianity and Islam. And with the dependence of the United States on Middle Eastern sources of oil, again, I don't expect that to happen. The holy month of Ramadan ended on Friday, and in New York City, a historic landmark was transformed for a Muslim holy day. The Empire State Building lit green to celebrate Eid al-Fitr. A new Gallup poll just released suggests that most Americans would be okay with a Muslim president. 60% surveyed by Gallup said they would vote for a well-qualified person who just happened to be a Muslim. The percentage was higher among younger voters. Of course, a significant portion of Americans already believe that we have elected a Muslim president. The Islamic State appears to have set up a stronghold in Europe. British newspaper The Sunday Mirror reporting that a small isolated village in Bosnia is being used as a training center for the Islamic State. A terror expert interviewed by a reporter for the Mirror said that men have been traveling to and from the village of Osvi to the front lines of the Islamic State's fight in Syria. The fear is that this location could be used as a springboard for terror attacks in Europe. As expected, competing rallies at the South Carolina State House on Saturday turned unruly, to say the least. Members of the Ku Klux Klan and a Florida group linked to the new Black Panther Party, Black Lawyers for Justice and Black Educators for Justice, hurled insults and some rocks at one another. The Klan was there to protest the removal of the Confederate flag from the State House. About 2,000 people were there in all. 5 people were arrested. Banks have opened in Greece for the first time in several weeks, and people are still limited to withdrawing only 420 euros per week, but at least they can do it now at one visit instead of having to return 7 days in a row for 60 euros at a time. But things are more expensive today than they were 3 weeks ago. The value-added tax, VAT, increased from 13% to 23% in Greece, part of the negotiations for a bailout with the rest of the European Union. In Ukraine, heavy shelling around the rebel-held town of Donetsk. Ukraine's military and the Russian-backed rebels blaming each other for the new round of violence. Although since the town is held by the rebels, the idea that they're shelling their own homes seems a bit unlikely. Russia is illustrating what could be one of the more potentially darker and dangerous aspects of the transhumanist movement, and that is autonomous killer robots. The Platform M robot, which looks like Wall-E's mean older brother, or maybe a prototype of the T-1 Terminator series from the Terminator films, debuted last June during military exercises in Russia. The Platform M is controlled by a remote. A soldier operating a remote-controlled computer is armed with Kalashnikov rifles and grenade launchers. You can see from the animated film here, in which the Platform M takes out soldiers armed with NATO weapons, who its intended targets will be. But it's just a small step from running these by remote to putting an autonomous computer and artificial intelligence inside these and setting them loose on the battlefield. Autonomous weapons would lack human judgment, the ability to take into account context of a potential target, and possibly make it much easier to go to war in the first place, since human assets would not be at risk, except, of course, for those poor human assets who happen to be occupying the territory that's being fought over. The threat over lethal autonomous weapons systems, or laws, has prompted a campaign to have them banned altogether. The Campaign to Stop Killer Robots website is stopkillerrobots.org. The goals of the transhumanist movement, to be fair, don't include coming up with more efficient weapons systems, better ways to kill one another. They do tend to focus on the big questions that I refer to here from time to time. Where did we come from? Why are we here? Where do we go when we die? In fact, they changed that last one to why must we die? And in that sense, the movement, whether its proponents admit it or not, has all the elements of a religion. And in a column last week for the Institute of Ethics and Emerging Technology, a columnist analyzes transhumanism as a religion, finally admitting that it is, in fact, a religion. This is from the perspective of a supporter of the transhumanist movement, of course, asks whether transhumanism is, in fact, the final religion, the culmination of human religion. Says the common elements of the transhumanist religion are a desire to avoid aging, remaining healthy indefinitely, and writes that contrary to conspiracy theories put forward by people like me, they have no desire to genetically engineer humans or engage in eugenics to eliminate the less fit, the weaker, because that process is too slow. Forgive me if that doesn't make me feel better. He says the preferred method of transformation is through merging our biology with technology. And while he acknowledges the potential threat posed by artificial intelligence, like lethal autonomous weapons systems, the problem may be that an artificial intelligence is so far above humanity that it may not even take into account how its actions affect us. In the same way that I don't really take into account my impact on the moles in my yard when I cut the lawn. The goal, and I quote from his article now, of the post-human dream is of uncorrupted immortal bodies housing the minds of gods as far beyond us as we are beyond cats and dogs, where all aspects of emotion, suffering, and intellect are under conscious control. Our animal heritage finally jettisoned in favor of the new and immaculate conception, a world without suffering or stupidity or violence. And that is why we address the topic of transhumanism so frequently on SkyWatch TV. For our children, our grandchildren especially, who experience the miracles of technology every single day, the promise of immortality through technology, through something like this, is far more real than the promise of immortality contained in the pages of a dusty book their parents, their grandparents have likely never read. A book that they are told by their teachers, by their professors, by the media, was a creation of ignorant, primitive, superstitious men and changed over the centuries to suit the political ambitions of kings and popes. And that is why SkyWatch TV and Defender Films are coming out with a documentary film, Inhuman, later this year, and why Tom Horn's series, Inhuman, is being published at SkyWatchTV.com. Read the series, prepare for the film, and again, understand that this is the 21st century religion, perhaps, in their minds anyway, the final religion. Which is really sad that they don't grasp the incredible complexity and beauty of God's creation. We'll talk about that again on SkyWatch TV tomorrow night. Gary Stearman returns in the guest chair for the second part of a two-part interview about his book, Time Travelers of the Bible, How the Hebrew Prophets Shattered the Barriers of Time-Space. That will air tomorrow night on the Christian Television Network, 8:30 p.m. Central Time, that's UTC-5, DirecTV Channel 376, Dish Network Channel 267, the Glory Star Satellite Channel 117. If you don't have satellite television, you can watch it online. The Christian Television Network streams its programming live to the internet at their website, ctnonline.com. And of course, you can watch it beginning Wednesday morning on the SkyWatch TV Roku channel. If you have a Roku box, please add the SkyWatch TV channel. Just log on to your account and search for us in the channel store, or log on to skywatchtv.com/Roku for complete instructions on how to add the channel to your account. We don't talk about this often enough, but if you're looking for an audio-only version of SkyWatch TV, maybe we should call it SkyWatch Radio. We do have a podcast where you can carry it with you in your iPod, your smartphone, or other mobile device. Look for the link to the SkyWatch TV podcast, audio versions of these daily updates and our weekly program. The link is in the top menu bar at skywatchtv.com, where you'll also find a link to this month's SkyWatch magazine, featuring some really in-depth articles on some very important topics by the likes of Doug Overmeyer of Sears Sea Ministry, a new contributor to SkyWatch TV, Doug Woodward, Doug Krieger, Josh Peck, Sharon Gilbert, beginning the first of a new series called Icon Engineering a New God, and of course the next installment of her supernatural thriller Skinwalkers. All that for free. It's the online SkyWatch magazine, and again, the link in the top menu bar at skywatchtv.com. We appreciate your support, both prayerfully and financially. And in the month of July, a very timely book is our way of thanking you for your gift of $10 or more to SkyWatch TV. Dr. Gary Smalley's book, I Promise, How 5 Commitments Determine the Destiny of Your Marriage. Instructions on how to donate to SkyWatch TV are posted online at skywatchtv.com. Please send us your comments, your questions, and your suggestions on how we can make these programs more interesting and informative to you. I look forward to your email each day, dgilbert@skywatchtv.com. And thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert, and this is SkyWatch TV.